All right, you wonderful students, we get to start on Blackletter, the majuscules, or the uppercase. Now, majuscules are done at 7 nibwits. So if you think about like the lowercase, O just looks like, I didn't go down all the way, like that. And the upper or the B uses those 2 nibwits. A G is right here. So those are using the X line there, the ascender line, and the descender line. And then if we come down here, we've got the X line, ascender, and descender. And that's great for writing uppercase, the majuscules, because they're going to be the 7 nibwits up to here and then down. Now, Blackletter got its name for being all so much writing on one page that it looked black, so it got Blackletter. If when you're doing your practice and you're doing your final quote, you want to leave a little more space because a descender hits an ascender or whatever, you can do that. But for practice, this is the best. And even for your quote, you can just leave it like this. I want to start with some of the angles or some of the strokes for Blackletter. And when I talk about angles, I measured, I'm right at a 40-degree angle when I write these, so right about there. And some of the strokes, the most important stroke for doing the majuscules will be just a tapered stroke. Now I did that straight down, and can I just suggest that you line your paper like this with so many lines that it looks like graph paper. This hand is completely upright. It is very picket fencey. You don't want to be going either direction. Now that line looks curved, but it follows that straight line down. The only difference is I just taper the top and the bottom to pull out. Okay, so that's a really important stroke for capital letters. And then some of the serifs. Now I'm just going to do a couple of just straight lines down. And so show you some of the serifs that you'll put on top. One might look like that and be completely, another one might look on that way and be, or even be off to that side. This one could be more, let's see, do it, yeah, more this way with this one to that side as well. So those serifs kind of, they change and move around. So just practice, just doing that. And like I said, it depends on what part where you need it, if you want it to be right in the middle like that one or towards the side. Another stroke is the diagonal stroke down like that. And then the S curve tends to be a little shorter on the top and longer on the bottom like that. And then we have the a nice O shape, which we're really used to with the Roman and uncial hand. Those we write at a 30, so they're a little flatter like this. And now we're writing a little more of a 40, so it'll be a little slightly different, nuanced. Another stroke would just be just going like that. It's you'll see that a lot of that, and then turning your pen on its side like this to do a straight line down. That one wasn't very straight, like that. And then you might be adding things like that. You'll do a diagonal line going back like that as well. So those are some of the strokes that you will do to help us form these capital letters. So go ahead and practice it. Now, just so you know, for your assignment, you just have to do 3 capitals. These are little works of art. They take time. They're very hard to get, to make them look perfect or to be really proficient in this. So don't be hard on yourself. Just do the best you can. Pick the capital letters you like the best and go for it like that and do those. But I do want to see you practice all these capital letters. Like I said, they take a letter form and then they decorate it up so much that it almost obscures what the letters are. Underneath the umbrella of Blackletter and Old English, there are so many different letter forms and or ways to do them and to decorate them up to the point that you almost can't recognize the letter without the lowercase being next to it because it's so decorated up. In fact, I'll print off something I've done recently and show you that. But practice these and work on it. And these are just some of the letter forms I'm going to show you for the capital letters. But there's a million different variations you can find online. The important thing is that everything you do is consistent among the capital letters. So I'm going to start right here, and then I'm going to start on the first part of the alphabet.